Yo, what's good? Um, well, as you can see by the title, today I received some pretty tough news. I learned that my dog, who's 13 years old, our family dog, has cancer, and basically the doctors are just recommending us to not, go for the chemo treatment or whatnot because she's already so old, and it just wouldn't make sense to pay that much money. We'll just let her live out the rest of her days um, as it is. So, I mean, my dad told me this earlier today, and it didn't really hit me right when he had told me. Um, I understood the severity of it, you know, right when I got the news, but it wasn't till about, you know, an hour and a half later, and I started looking at old pictures of me and my dog. Her name's Daisy, and I just started to break down. I mean, I lost it. um, and I've been struggling all day, to be honest. It's not been easy, uh, but it's okay. You know, it's okay. Um, Me and Daisy really have like a special connection. No, people don't. Some people don't really think having pets dying is the most serious thing compared to like losing a close friend or losing, a family member. But to me, it's kind of the same thing. Um, when we got our dog Daisy, I mean, I was very young. This was 13 years ago, basically, and I'm 22 right now. So do the math. I'm not even. I don't know, but uh, yeah, I just remember like she was always such a sweet, sweet little girl, and there were some times um, throughout my childhood where me and my family, our dynamic was a little bit twisted, and I felt, I didn't necessarily feel really connected to my family. And so there'd be times where I would just be sitting with my dog, and I would just be looking her in the eyes, and she'd be looking right back at me. And it just felt like she was the only one who could understand me in a way, even though she never spoke a word. Um, but we've always had a really almost spiritual connection. Um, Honestly, like my relationship with my dog is kind of what, honestly, like looking back at it, what first got me into spirituality. I remember I had a conversation with a girlfriend back in high school, and she told me that she felt like her and her dogs had, spiritual connections. People will throw around the words like twin flame and soulmates. Excuse me. And I don't know like what those mean. Um, but anytime I look in my dog's eyes, I'm gonna try not to cry right now, but anytime I look at my dog's eyes, it just seems like there's something that transcends our reality, and it almost feels like we were destined to be companions at some point in this life, and maybe in every life too. Um, but yeah, she's been around the whole time, been for me, been here for me whenever I needed her. And so obviously she's not dead yet, but it's kind of crushing. It's almost like hearing, your best friend or your family members hearing that they've got cancer. Um, so obviously I'm gonna try to soak up as much time with her as I can while she's living on this earth, but I know that I'll see her in a different life, um, in some different capacity, and I'll recognize that it's her. I know for a fact, whether it's like an afterlife or whether it's a different world after this one, like I don't know what it could be, but I'm almost certain that we're linked, like our souls are linked. And kind of a strange thing. It's a strange little phenomenon, but it's true. Like I can't explain it any other way other than, to justify it that way. Um, but anyways, yeah, just I've been struggling all day, looking at old pictures of her, um, and the simpler times back then. But it's in moments like these where, um, there's no point in looking back at the past and saying, "Oh, I wish I could go back in time. I wish I could relive that again." Like those moments are living through you. That's why I cry so much today, because those moments have lived with me up until this point. There's no reason for me to want to go back in time. Like those times were sweet, and looking at those pictures of me and my family and me holding like us just holding the dog and all that, like it's beautiful looking back at those pictures. But I live with those things. I live with those moments just like with me every day. And that's why I love the way I do. And that's why I do the things that I do, man. Like that's the only way to make sense of it. But um it's been bittersweet. I've been talking to my mom, and us just equally as crushed to hear the news, but it's okay. And like I say, it's in times like these where you just gotta look back on the past and say, man, those times were so nice. But you gotta continue to live with them. You can't let it bring you down. Um, so yeah, I don't really have anything else to say other than that, man. It's been a tough day for me, but we're gonna keep going. And every single time I get to see my dog, up until the day she passes, it's gonna be tough the next time I see her, because I live in a different city than my parents do. So when I go back home, it's gonna be tough. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, y'all. One love.